this week, we are kind of tying up our indoor month here on FH Umpires and all the videos I've been doing. And I am so happy to be bringing on someone who is not only an exceptional umpire at the top of her game, but somebody I got to room with way back in the day. And she is just one of the superstars in Belgium. And I think you are all going to know who I'm talking about when I say a very warm welcome from everybody to Céline Martin-Schmets. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Ça va?
Hello.
I've got cheering. See, I've got all the special effects. Isn't it great?
Nice. Thank you. Hello.
Oh, I'm so glad you could take some time out to talk to us tonight because I know that you have been, we were talking last week and you're talking about how extremely busy you are right now and how you're spending, like a lot of us, your life online, on a camera, on Zoom. So thank you so much for doing this. How's this week been working out for you so far? Is it a little lighter? Because last week was nuts for you, right?
So it's full of meeting this week again, but it's all good. It's nice to be busy, so nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's better than the alternative, right? Although I wouldn't mind a Netflix binge one of these days. What's the last show you watched on Netflix that you really, really liked? Or do you get to watch
I
any
like
TV at all?
the most is Big Bang Theory. That's my
Oh,
favorite show. Yeah, but I know them way too much. I have seen them way too much, so.
so Big Bang Theory is like your Friends, because I know a lot of people watch Friends over and over and over again, and they know all the
Yeah,
episodes. And oh my God, that's hilarious.
exactly.
That's cool. My next quest, I think I wanted to watch Crown. That's on my list. And I think
I
there's like
started,
six or
but
a little too heavy on the whole history thing.
exactly.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because they don't always get they don't always include all of the history. It's a little selective. So anyway, there you go. So Celine, I want to, you know, I want us to have a nice sort of free-flowing conversation and talk about lots of stuff. I'm going to bring in lots of questions from the audience. So remember, all of you at home, please make sure you know, get your questions in the comments. And if I miss you the first time around, just ask again and like put some more emojis in it or something, and then I'll be sure to see it. Because I want you guys to be able to get to know Celine the way that I was lucky enough to get to know Celine some years ago. And it's just been such a privilege, Celine, to watch you growing into the scene and progressing and getting to the top level. So why don't you take us back to when you started in hockey? How did it all come about for you?
For me, it's a family thing. So my mom was playing hockey, and me and my brother we were going and watch her all every weekend. So this is how we start. Like we were really kids with a stick and playing, watching mom. And then when I was 5, I started playing, and I was not really good, but I liked being on the pitch. My mom was my coach, so she was like, "Oh, you're not so good, but if you like it, you can keep playing." And that's
Yeah.
how I start. And it was mixed at that time. It's like almost 30 years ago now.
Oh,
So
you are
yeah,
not, no, you're not that old. I'm sorry. You're
I
always going
am.
to be the little 20-year-old to me. Oh my goodness. So what was it that actually got you into umpiring? Who approached you? What was the thing that drove you into picking up the whistle?
It was more when you're young, it's parents that are umpiring you. They are not always so good. Sometimes they don't really know the rules, but they are here to help. So I want to help as well. So I was umpiring in my club, the kids, before and after my game, because I spent all my weekend at my club helping people and playing. So I start like that, and then I just kept going. I like to know the rules, to see what I'm doing when I'm on the pitch, what I can do and cannot do. And I was not too bad, so I was umpiring during small tournaments at my club, and that's how I start. And I
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah. Did you find, because this was the thing for me, because I'm sure, an even worse player than you ever could have been, and but the thing that I was able to bring to the pitch was that I was smart with the rules, and I manipulated them, and I went right to the edge, and sometimes a little bit past it, knowing when the umpires wouldn't be able to catch me. Was that something that you took advantage of as well as a player in order to give yourself a little boost, or no, you were just so
Not
nice?
not so much. Not when I was. Yeah, it was. I did it a little bit when I was older. Let's say it like that. But when I was younger, it was more like uh, if something was not fair or something like that, I was going to ask questions. So I was like, "Ah,
Mm.
everybody, stop! I'm going to ask because I want to know why." So I was that
Ah.
annoying girl asking question to the umpire, like, "Why do you blow that? Is that really the rules?"
Oh goodness. Yeah, I think that I tried not to talk too much to the umpires. Until I started umpiring, I had this really deep mistrust for umpires. I didn't like them. I didn't have a lot of respect for them, but I didn't abuse them. I just sort of kept my distance. And yeah, when I got recruited, it was sort of the thing, like, when I was asked, you could be a really good umpire, Keely, do you want to do this? And I'm like, why would I? They have to wear terrible clothes. I was just like that, right? And then when I was told that there was actually international umpiring, that's when I went, ooh, you mean I could travel and I could do like really good hockey? Oh, that sounds like a cool idea. So anyway, that's what got me, into it. But so how old were you when you first started with a
Oh,
whistle?
I was like, uh, I did my exam in Belgium when I was 15. Look like, yeah. And then I start national umpiring, and I did my first international tournament in 2007 in Lithuania.
Okay, 2007. That might get us pretty close to. I got to see if I can bring up the picture. I don't know if I can do this now. Did I put it here? Oh, I don't know. I think I've lost. I'll find it as we're going along. Okay, don't mind. But so we umpired together. Was it 2009?
I think so.
Yes, yes, in Rome. Yes, that was a really, really fun tournament. That was one of those rare chances for me to be in Europe and to umpire there. And it was so nice to meet you and hang out with you. And I remember I tried to speak a lot of French to you, and it didn't work out very well, did it?
My English was not really good at that time, so at the beginning, I struggled a bit with my English because everybody was talking so fast, and I was like, "Oh, I need
Oh,
to understand what's going on." So yeah, at the beginning, it was really hard for me because yeah, the English was I understand English, but like not when everybody was speaking at the same time and
yeah.
like yeah during action. So, but it gets better with the years.
Yeah, there you go. Darren Hubach's on board from South Africa. I hope I said his name right. Hubach? I don't know. Anyway, he's saying hi, which is really nice. So there you go. Oh, here's a question from Marvo. This is hilarious. Would Sheldon make a good umpire?
Probably not.
Agree. Agree to agree. I think he would be awful. He's got no
Yeah,
personality, like no social skills.
like,
That's hilarious.
but I could imagine him like, no, it's a green card. That is not the good rules.
Absolutely. That is hilarious. So, your first international tournament, how old were you in 2007 then? I know this is going to reveal all your secrets, but you were
I'm
20 what at the time? Do you remember so how old were you when you did your first international tournament?
at 21.
At 21. Okay. Okay, good. Oh boy, that is, I mean, and that's incredible. And that's um a real asset. What was it like being that young and going to your first tournament? Did you feel like you were young, or was it just sort of like a, oh, I'm here, isn't this cool? Party on.
Uh, at the beginning, I was like, oh, it's cool, I'm here. But also at the same time, so my mentor in Belgium, people know him, but he's not with us. No, it's Paul Prick, and he was really a good mentor. But I'm not sure if he ever been in an international tournament, so he couldn't help me that much on that one. So he was like, just go and do what you can do the best. And so I was like, and the umpire manager was from South Africa, I think. I've never seen that man after that. And he was talking English so fast, and I didn't know what he was expecting from me. And it was still the Cooper test before the tournament, and it was all those things that I've never done before, like really the protocol before the tournament. So I was like, what am I doing here? But hopefully, I was with Claire Adenau, who speak French. So she helped me really a lot on that first tournament. And I've met amazing people. Like Dawn Henning was at my first tournament. I umpired games with her. So it was amazing to meet those people. So after that, I was not afraid anymore. It was like just you need to step in and like understand what you need to do. So, but I had a lot of fun in that tournament, and I have good memories on that one.
Yeah, that sounds so familiar because even though I was a lot older than you, I was 30 when I went to my first tournament. I felt exactly the same way. I had no preparation, and I had no idea what a tournament briefing meeting was, and a fitness test, and a this and a that. And I just, yeah, you just kind of get thrown in there. And I think umpires who go to these tournaments and they've had maybe more organized preparation domestically, like maybe their domestic tournaments are set up to mirror FIH tournaments. Like that's something I'm trying to do now. And I don't know if this is something that, because I know you're doing a lot of mentoring, and I do want to talk to you a lot about that as we go on. But here in Canada, we really do try to mimic that whole international setup as best we can, so
Exactly.
that when an umpire goes away, they feel comfortable, right?
Exactly. I think yeah, I was not the first to go on tournament, but I was really young. So after that, I think we start trying to make to explain before the tournament what it was expected to do and how it was going to be. So I think now the umpires going to tournament for the first time, they are not afraid anymore, or they know what is going on. And we also, like for the finals in Belgium, we do like a small tournament. So it's good preparation to do like it was a tournament. So no, they know better and they are more prepared. But it was, for me, it was hard to learn, but a good, how do you say, life school.
Yes. Yes,
It makes me
absolutely.
getting out of my comfort zone and try something new. And I think it helped me a lot. Like when I start working or things like that, it was really helping me to have been through that protocol that I have no idea what to do and to learn. So I think there is many times in your life when you go somewhere and you don't know what to do and you have to go anyway. So it was
Yeah.
something like that, and I'm really happy that I have been through that, and I've kept going and survived that.
That's it, right? The two things that I heard you say that I really like really resonate with me is that you talked about being forced out of your comfort zone, and then that you survived. And that's kind of the biggest life school thing that I think umpiring brings all of us, is that no matter how much we try to prepare or practice, or people try to prep us, we get thrown into these situations and something crazy happens, and or it's just a completely different country and total strangers and a different language and all that, and we get more comfortable with being uncomfortable. And then, like you said, you survive. And then, you go home and you realize, oh, I'm still here. I made it. And I'm fine. I could do that again.
But
And
I still, uh, before every tournament, when I'm on the way to the airport, I always have that, if I take the flight, I always have that little stress inside. Like it's always. And I've done a lot of tournaments, smaller or bigger, whatever. But
Yeah.
every time I'm going to the airport to take the flight, I'm like nervous and I know what is going on, but still there is always something inside telling me like, ah, come on, you can do it. And then as soon as I'm in the airport with my bag, it's all good, but it's always. And it for the moment, I've never been to a tournament when it was not like that. So we'll see.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you're never not nervous. I absolutely love that. So let's talk about indoor specifically, because I mean, we know that you're doing lots of major, amazing stuff in the outdoor scene, but I want to focus on indoor a little bit because there's a lot of indoor fans on this broadcast. So, what is indoor like in Belgium? What kind of season do you have? And, how developed is the indoor program for you guys?
I think we have a really good indoor season. So it's between end of November or December, depending the outdoor season, and until February. So like 3 months, we play 2 games every weekend, 2 games every time we play. And I think it's a quite good level in Belgium, and all the kids are playing as well. So at every age, you can play indoor, and they try to bring as many people as possible in indoor. But yeah, some players they don't like indoor, like everything. But when you like indoor, I think yeah, you stick to
You
him.
love it.
to it.
Yeah. Here's Lee Baird. You can see now we get to the proper questions. He was all done with all the general stuff. All he wants to talk about is indoor, which makes sense because yeah, he did do some great stuff there. Let's see. Ian wants to know, is that a llama on the shelf behind you? Oh,
Yeah,
let's
it's on
see
the
if I can.
over there.
Sorry,
Trying
let
to.
me see if I can get you on the screen there. I've got the wrong person up there, but I'm gonna make you really big. If I can. There's Celine, and I'm gonna take me away. And oh, that didn't work. That didn't work at
But
all.
yes, it's a llama on my TV.
A lamb on your TV. Oh, there you go. God, Ian's got eagle eyes there. I don't know how he saw that. That's amazing. You like your llamas, do you?
Yeah, it's a present. It's a Christmas present from one of my friends. So it's there.
There you go.
Taking me
Okay.
company.
Excellent. So back to indoors, so we can make Lee happy. So did you start umpiring indoor the same time you did outdoor, or did
Yeah.
that come along a little bit later? Oh, you did. Okay.
Uh, I always did indoor. I love indoor. I love playing indoor. I think I was a little bit better in indoor playing than outdoor.
Me too.
But
Oh my God.
yeah, and as a player, I made it to the top as well. So I'm happy with that. Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
memory on Facebook like 3 years ago. We went to the honor division with my team. So yeah, that was a good souvenir. But and as an umpire, I love it even more because yeah, it's for me it's not totally different, but it's like you closer to the player, you closer to your colleague. You have always your face on the ball. The ball is never far away from you, so
Yep.
it's intense, and you never get bored in an indoor game. No matter if the level is good or not, you can't be bored in an indoor game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I really enjoy actually umpiring really low level indoor here in Calgary. I just have so much fun with it because you can be so close to the players. You really build your rapport and talk to them. And when you're doing a really good job for them, it makes such a difference in the game. It's like outdoor just concentrated. Like everything is more concentrated. The calls, there's more of them in a short period of time. You don't have to move as far, which I love, but you have to move a lot, you know? Yeah, you know me, I'm lazy. Yeah, you've got that closer bond, that communication that you talked about with the players and your colleague and all that sort of thing. I was interested. I asked Baz last week about using radios in indoor. What's your feeling about radios in indoor? Because I love them always, but I've heard some umpires are a little bit not so sure.
No, I love them also because I think even if you're close to your colleague, it's good to be in his ear and to be able to communicate with him without everybody knowing what you're talking about. And especially in indoor, when it's quick, you need to be a team with your colleague. There is no time to have questions. You just need to be in the action. So sometimes
Yeah.
just a word, or if you can see that your colleague is under pressure, you can
Hmm.
always have a nice word in his ear or something like that. So I think the radios are good. Outdoor,
Yeah.
indoor, it's the same. You can help each other with the radio. You don't have to use it like every 2 seconds, but it's good to have it just to have that confirmation sometimes, like, I agree, keep going, or yeah,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah. I find one
You
of
don't
the
have to be a
indoor, yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, one of the most useful things is just being able to overhear what's happening at the other end. Sometimes it's you being able to hear what your colleague just said to that player down in the corner, and they don't have to repeat it. They don't have to translate or tell you, okay, now we're gonna, we have to watch for that 3 meters now. You hear that conversation that, hey, give me three next time, and now you're both on the same page without having to spend more words saying it. So that's why I love radios, and especially they have to be always on radios. Those push to talk.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Forget that.
But
Forget that nonsense.
yeah, people should not forget that you umpire also for the coaches and the people watching. So the problem is when people only use a radio and less the body language or to show the audience. So I think we need a good balance, especially in indoor. The coaches, oh sorry, are really close to you, so sometimes it's good to have like eye contacts with them, or to have
Yeah.
to also build a relationship when it's possible. And sometimes even from the other side of the pitch, you can like make a face or you can smile, and you have also a relationship with the coach. So you need also, it's not only the radio, you need all the tools that you have in outdoor, but in indoor as well, especially because the coach and the people can see your face all the time because they're really close to you. So you need to use all the tools you have, and that's make it like in indoor you are really in a small bubble, and
Yes.
everybody is close to you, so you can have like a relationship with the crowd, and you can react also, not like too much, but still.
Yeah.
And for me it's even more like you get in the game even more quicker when you have the audience and the coaches and everybody close to you, so I like
Yeah.
it.
No, I totally agree. Tara Brown just chimed in earlier. I just put the comment up that she loves them because the circle in indoor is so busy, and you don't have time to look up, and you need to keep your eyes on the play, which, yeah, is a really great point. But I love how, Celine, you're talking about just the sort of the always on, like there's nowhere to hide in indoor. And Baz said that last week as well. He said, there's nowhere to go. You're always seen. You're always in eye view of the the players on the bench, and the disengaged coach and the manager, and then the people in the stands. You're right there. So it's yeah, taking advantage of that, like you said. That's fantastic. Sorry. Ahmed saying hi from Egypt. Have you met Ahmed
Yes,
personally? Oh, when did you meet him?
I went to Egypt 3 years ago, I think.
That's right. That's right.
Um, African Cup of Nations. It was the first time that the women team was playing in a tournament in Egypt.
Yes. Yes, you told this story. I think maybe it was when you were on the Talk Hockey Radio podcast, and you told that story, which was really
Probably.
fantastic. So, yeah. So actually, this segs really nicely into the next topic I want to talk to you about, which was women in umpiring and in hockey in general, because I know this is something that you're really, really passionate about, and you've been doing a lot of work in. So tell me about Hockey Belgium Women Umpires. Is that the full Instagram title? I pulled up I pulled up a graphic for that too. Let me see if I can find it. But you've got it on Instagram, you've got it. If there's anybody in the comments that can find it for me and put it in for everybody, put up the links so that everybody can go follow them right now. Tell me about hockey Belgium women umpires and what you're working on with them.
So in Belgium, we are like 250 umpires, and less than 20 are women. So it's really a small number of women, and it's just that we really want to have more women, because I think it's a good way to develop yourself. It's a good way to learn, like we say, get out of your comfort zone. And I think in hockey, even more than like in other sports, you will be helped, especially in Belgium. We have people to I see the comments.
Sorry, I didn't mean to distract you, but it's really funny, so I had to put the comments.
And so I think it's something good for everybody, and I think it's just sad that we don't have more women. What could be really good, and as a woman in Belgium, as a national umpire, you have so many chances to go international and to umpire the top level women in Belgium. So I think it's a great opportunity, and I'm really sad that there is not so many women. But I must say we have really passionate women in our group. So I'm really happy with that, and a lot of them, they want to grow, they want to chat with you, and they want to learn. So it's really amazing the job they are doing to go at the top. So I'm really proud of them, and we have really young girls coming that are really good. So, but we need more, especially. The dream is to get like all the top women leagues umpired by women, and for the moment it's not possible. So we did like 5 years ago, only women to umpire the women finals. But yeah, it was like only 5 of us, and now we're getting a little bit more girls coming, but still not enough. So what I'm trying to do is encourage them, show them that it's a good way to learn. It's a good way to be on the pitch. So yeah, I just try to encourage them. I don't want to push them too hard or to lie to them, to say sometimes it is hard. Sometimes you have a bad game, that's for sure. But yeah, there is no difference for me between men and women umpiring. So I'm thinking there should be more girls coming.
Yeah, I agree. Here's Marvo. Huge problem getting women into umpiring despite best efforts, compounded by the fact that the very lowest leagues insist on qualified umpires. Confidence seems to be the blocker. Let's talk about that a little bit, because I want to unpack this concept, because we talk about, oh, it's too bad we don't have women umpiring, and this is a bit of a foreign thing for me, because here in Canada we have more women umpiring than we do men, and a lot of that is just a function of perception of what the sport is in North America, that it's a girl sport, which we all know is total shit. But so we have lots of women. We do have, we have good numbers of men as well. So it's I don't see a problem. I think it's like, yeah, we're doing great. So I want to talk about why, like the causes why. And so Marvel's comment there, he thinks that a lot of it is a confidence issue. I'm wondering if there's anything else. And do you agree with the confidence? Do you see any other factors in Belgium that you think are making it harder for young women or women of any age to get involved in umpiring?
I don't really know, because I've never had that problem. So it's also something I want to figure it out for Belgium, because I don't know where to push, because I don't know exactly where is the problem. But I think we show a lot of men hockey, and I don't know, maybe in Europe it's more like a men's sport, I don't know. And there is not so much advertising about umpiring. Like people don't, I'm not sure people always think like, oh, I want to be the umpire, it looks fun.
Why not? Oh my God.
Like
look at us, look at what we're doing, come on.
You go there, a lot of time you have comments, and you need to explain why you did that, and things like that. And I think sometimes it's just like, I don't want any trouble with that. So I'm rather playing than be in trouble and need to explain why I'm doing this or that. And so I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. If I had the answer, I think it will be more easier to get more women.
Yeah.
But
I
I don't
think
know.
that, yeah, that concept, and I saw it was really big in Ireland, in Hockey Ireland. Last year they were doing a big campaign of the "See It, Be It," and that was their hashtag slogan, and they were really pushing the awareness of, see women athletes performing, and that will encourage, everybody, women of all ages, to pick it up, and yeah, and they did that in England as well. There was a big campaign. Barry Hainsworth here is just commenting that the first female official it'll be the first time a female official takes to the field for the Super Bowl in the NFL this season, which is a huge thing. But we've seen so many top female officials taking charge of top events of either gender, and obviously hockey's been doing a lot, but it's got to be more than just, we're doing it more than just hockey. We're having it in rugby, and we're seeing it in football, soccer, in American football, in baseball, and it's all kinds of countries. And yeah, maybe that's for me, because it seems so weird, because I don't understand. Well, how do you not see women umpiring? But if your area, your culture is that's not what you see, then why would a young woman with a stick in her hand think, oh yeah, I could do that? So yeah, that's why your initiative, with your social media accounts, is so important, because you are showing it and being it, and so everybody who's watching the broadcast, follow the accounts and retweet and share the crap out of everything they post, because it's worthwhile, and this is going to help all of us get stronger and the whole community get stronger. So I love it. Let's see, Jane Evans has a comment here. I think some of it's to do with family commitments, and men seem to take the feedback as feedback and not criticism. So Jane's talking about two sort of cultural norms, I guess, with that yeah, there is a problem, especially when women are in their when they start settling down and think about starting families. It's harder to get the time to get onto the field, right? And I know that you and I have watched our colleagues going through different sort of machinations with their family lives, right, in order to make sure they can still umpire. And there's stories, I know you know of some of them who literally like have structured they've got 4-year cycles for not just their Olympic preparations, but for their childbearing. So they have a kid like right after the Olympics, so they've got 3 years to prepare for the next one. So yeah,
Exactly.
that's a big challenge. Let's see. Oh, I have a question for you. I'm sure you don't know anything about who this guy is. So I experienced indoors a good learning school for some. This has gone off the screen for me. And concentration, communication, body language, fast decision making. Hang on, I got to put it back. He wrote so much. How do I keep up during indoor umpiring? Do you also focus on training outdoor skills?
It's for me. It's they are how do you say complementary. So for me, they're all
Yes.
going together. So I used to have a routine before a game in outdoor, and I took that in a smaller version, put it in indoor. So I took something from outdoor to indoor, and the same, I took some skills like from indoor, like the communication, the body language, and I tried to replicate it outdoor. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, I learn from one to another, both sides every year. So every time I'm on an indoor pitch, I learn things that I try to bring uh, outdoor. And for me, the practice, like the training for both of them, is the same. It's like
Mm-hmm.
movement, focus, communication, and the speed in your decision. So the quicker you get, even in indoor, sometimes in outdoor, sorry, you need to be really quick, and you can learn that in indoor
Yeah.
because in indoor you don't have so many advantages. So you blow quicker, and you can take that something in outdoor as well. Try in outdoor. So for me, it's both both ways. You can learn from each other, and I think
Hmm.
doing both, especially in Belgium, um, give you good practice.
Yeah.
You don't stay with doing nothing for 3 months. You have a practice. It's a little bit different. So sometimes you're like, oh, drilling. I'm indoor, yes. Outdoor, no. So it's good to have a practice game,
Yeah.
friendly
Don't you love
game
that
before it
first
starts.
outdoor game after the indoor season where suddenly you call a drill and the ball gets raised and you're blowing a whistle and all the players look at you like,
And you're
what
like,
you doing?
indoor, sorry.
Yeah, my bad.
Sometimes the
Ruth
player
has,
are asking you, like, drilling. You're like, no, it's outdoor.
yes, yes, it goes both ways. Absolutely. Really nice comment from Ruth here. For her, she's talking about it's not wanting to be playing and committing to 2 days at the weekend and committing to the away game, the whole game, and it just the commitments start piling up. And I think it's really important for all the guys who are big allies and are wondering how they can do this better is that it's part of a bigger picture of how we are operating in society. And if the expectations are that we're still doing all of the work at home, we're still doing all the cooking, we're still doing all the childcare and all that sort of thing, we will not have time to go out on the pitch and serve the game. So everything needs to be shared more so the opportunities are opened up for sure. Oh, Rick, I don't know. I don't think this is going to fit on the screen. I teach classes for high school umpires in Ohio, so here's one of our American friends. It's more likely that my female students know the game better than the men. They frequently have less experience as an official in other sports, so females are generally less confident. Once I get them on the field and advise them on what they need to put some air in the whistles, they get it and often excel. Yeah, that's interesting. So in the States, there are a lot more what I would call professional officials, so people who officiate a whole bunch of sports. Whereas the way that we do it, and like I don't know, in Canada and I think what happens in Europe and a lot of other places, it's um, people are all in their sport. So would you say that's true in Belgium, that if you're a hockey person, you coach, you play, you umpire, you administer, you volunteer on the weekend, right? That seems to make
Exactly.
sense. And
Yeah.
who cares about the other sports?
Um, I love the other sports, but I'm really committed to hockey. So yeah,
Yeah.
I used to coach and train when I was younger. But now I must say, even if I don't have kids, I had to be able to be on. It's not true for everybody, but for me to be able to be 100% focus on the top level hockey in Belgium,
Hmm.
I had to slow down on playing
Hmm.
because I was really so I play almost at the top level with my team.
Yep.
We play in the second division. The goal was to go up, so we were practicing 3 days a week. And before a big tournament, I was always like, shall I play or not? Because if I'm getting injured, shall I? What shall I do?
Mm.
So it was, yeah. So yeah, one year I say, okay, I will still do 1 year fully playing and umpiring, and then I will slow down on playing. But for a long time, it's yeah, I'm still playing, uh, low level, but I'm still playing, and
Yep.
I think it's always good to have to still play because you understand better the needs of the player. So they learn new tricks, and when you, I don't know, for me, I like to keep playing to know those little things from the players. But there
Yep.
is great umpires that never played, so I think it's depending on everybody. But if you can have like both, it's two totally different things, and I love them both. So for me, it was really hard to choose. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was better umpire, so.
Yeah. I think a lot of us have had to make that same choice, and that's what happened to me. At 29, somebody walked up to me and said, okay, you got to quit this playing stuff and you have to start umpiring. And so I was playing at the senior I was playing at the senior national championship in Canada. So our highest domestic competition at 29. And then at 30, I umpired it. So I just literally the next year I was umpiring all my friends and all the people who'd been kicking my ass for the last 10 years or so. So yeah, it is a tough choice, and I think it's one that there's different priorities and different ways you can work around it depending on your local leagues. But I think that's one of the biggest challenges because there's so many players and coaches have this conception that umpires aren't players. And it's like, no, like most of us are players. Most of us have played the game, still play the game, are still passionate about playing. We just shift our priorities a little bit and sometimes have to make hard choices, to excel in that area. So that's very interesting. Simon's got a question for you. It's almost like he didn't have enough questions for you on the podcast, and so now he's got to take up this show. Simon, the noise of the crowd at the Euros in Antwerp was crazy. How do you close it out in indoor? It's so much closer. It must be amplified by the fact it's inside. How do you block it out and focus? And this is good because we'll take this question and then we'll start going into the clips from the match because there's a crazy amount of noise in that match. So go ahead, tell us about crowd noise in indoor.
I think it's like outdoor. When you walk into that pitch, when you have the national anthems playing, it's like you're in a bubble. Your world is stopped for like the time of the game. You are in another world, and I'm not sure you really heard a lot the noises from the crowd. Sometimes you need like, oh, I need to blow harder because not sure the player can understand me. But to be honest, it was never a problem for me because, I don't know, you're just in the game, focus so much that the crowd is there, but your mind is in the game. And the game sometimes, like the game we're going to watch, is so stressful just inside that you don't really think about the crowd during the game. You just think about blowing the whistle and the next one and the next one. So
yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like, yeah, you don't have time to stress about all that. And yeah, Bev said that last week too, and that's definitely been my experience on the rare occasions I've had big crowds like that. Simon says he's sorry, but I know he's not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Just a quick one from Jenks, obviously continuing the bants, that apparently you are much more understandable than that bloke from last week. So congratulations. That's good to know. Okay, let's move into some of the clips. I've got a lot lined up, but we don't have to go through all of them. It's compulsive. I just collect them all and like Pokemon and then just see what's going to happen. Oh, and look at that. This week's guest is also slightly better looking. So nice. Thanks. So we're going to pick out some clips from the 2020 Euro final that you were on with Cathy Wright, who, wait, if I can find it. There she is. She at least was watching. So hi, Cathy. So good to see you. I got to umpire with her a lot when I was in England. So really nice. And she is your colleague for this game. So tell me about quickly about how the tournament went for you and leading up to that game. What was it like?
It was
She is still here.
A really, really nice group of people, and a lot of us, we were like the same level. So everybody was able to do that final. It was a nice group of people, a nice group of friends. We had a lot of fun after that game, I must say. So yeah, it was, and I've known Cathy for a long time. So for me, it was like, an achievement. I don't know, like a present to be with her on that pitch, and it was amazing. I still have that little feeling inside that it was a great tournament, and coming there, I was not expecting the final, but I'm really, really happy I did that with Cathy.
That's awesome. So Baz was saying last week from the Indoor World Cup final in 2018 that he and Pavel did the first game of the tournament together, and then they did the last game of the tournament together as well. So and obviously they'd worked together at, in previous Indoor World Cups and lots of other tournaments. Did you have that as well with Cathy? Did you do any games with her during the tournament prior? So like you had a very recent sort of rapport, and you'd worked with her and you felt really comfortable, or was that the first time you worked together in the tournament?
Well, I'm sure it was not the first time we were together on a game, but honestly, I don't know, you say in English, a goldfish. So I don't know if we did another game together in that tournament.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's good. It's okay to be a goldfish. So
Yeah,
hopefully this is all going to work
always.
out.
Like sometimes
Yeah.
the player are telling me like, yeah, but 2 minutes ago, I'm like, I don't remember 2 minutes ago. So good.
Don't
But
come at me with that.
I know Cathy for a long time, and we have been in many tournaments, indoor and outdoor. So I think it was like natural for us being together
Yeah.
on that pitch. And it was like we have done that 5 times in a tournament. So I had no pressure. I knew how she was umpiring, and I think she knows me. So it was like, yeah, umpiring domestic league with a friends, like it was normal. Feels normal to be on that pitch with her, and I could. Thank you, Tara.
Sorry, but that's just so awesome. You're getting piled on now in the comments.
Yeah, I know we umpire together, Tara. I remember that.
There you go.
But,
Okay, so I guess it's just Cathy
it was
that.
really, really natural to umpire with Cathy. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so yeah, let's jump into a few of these, and you can sort of tell me. And it's what's interesting was when we started out, and oh, I've got it all set up properly. Um, and let me see if oh, yeah, the sound effects had gotten muted. So the reason I pulled this clip out, I thought it was interesting, is a lot of stuff happened in Cathy's end in the first half, obviously. So this is, you're sort of giving your perspective on things. But I was interested in this decision because goalkeepers putting the ball over the end line in indoor is always a tricky decision. So what did you see? Do you remember what you saw from your angle, and what do you look for when you're umpiring the situation for a goalkeeper and the ball going off the end line?
it's more like what's the intention of the goalkeeper, and obviously there you can see that there is two player from the Dutch team just close to her. So if she puts the ball really onto the player, she put herself in danger. So for me, her intention was just to put the ball away and not on the player, and not to put the ball behind the line. So it was just a save. And
Yeah.
there is no intention of really playing behind the line, because there is no other, not so many options at that level. If you give the ball to the player, that the ball will go back to you in half a second.
The Belarusian attackers, they weren't really, like, they were sort of off to the side, and it wasn't like she had to avoid them that way. She had two of her own players to or sorry, those were Belarusian defenders. Yeah, so she wasn't she had to put it pretty close, and I'm watching her foot action, and her foot action was still mostly parallel along that back line. So I think it was just kind of a function of the angle there. But she was trying to thread it, but she wasn't trying to ditch it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And when you look at her body, she's not turned like facing the line. She's really trying to just put the ball away. So I was really happy with that decision.
Yeah, exactly. And Tara's just like always side with the goalkeeper, absolutely. And Ian saying the foot seemed angled forward. So yeah, I would totally agree with that. The Dutch pressure kept sort of coming, and then this is coming, in the sort of the second half of that first quarter there, and Cathy's giving the first card for a 3-meter infringement because she's just awarded, and this is just going to keep looping and looping so we can see it over and over and over again. But she's blown the whistle very clearly, and she's not too far away. She's only about, maybe 5-6 meters away from the play, and the defender just sticks her stick down and just like right in front of it and just stops it. So how do you feel when you're on the other side and your colleague has, sort of stamped their authority and set the standard there? Do you kind of go, yes, I got this now, we're on the same page? How does that make you feel?
Exactly. And I think sometimes I talk during the game. So, like, on that moment, I would say, oh, yeah. Not like with happy, but like I agree with her. I would like say, oh, like she knew it
Yep.
was coming. When you see the body language of the girl, she's like not even trying to do something else. So it's
Yep.
like
Absolutely.
I was going. I could say I would be more upset if it was not going to be a card. But yeah,
Ah,
I think
yeah.
in that game, what was really amazing that we were every time one or the other was blowing the whistle, we I think most of the decision we really agree like, oh yeah, that's a good one. So it was really comforting that we were on the same page all over the
Yeah.
game. So
Yeah. Absolutely. Just a little point from Goddard's here. I'm gonna pull this up. So this is interesting because we've been talking about this in the context of outdoor a lot. So at this point, that happens the attacking half, and Kathy's giving a card, but she didn't give the upgrade team penalty. What was the sort of the briefing around that at that point? And do you feel like that's changed for how we're supposed to be dealing with those kind of plays?
for me, the difference with the PC is like there is so many players behind. What is she doing is not like in the intention of blocking the attack or something like that. It's just a stupid something that she did. But there is so many player behind. For me, a PC would have been too much because
Mm-hmm.
like you already give a suspension. It's not something that easy. They will need to play with one less player. So for me, already the card was enough in that time because it's not like there is nobody behind her and she's really blocking the attack. Everybody was there set. So a PC would have been too much in my point of view. So it's uh, the intention of the player and the impact in the game. If
Yeah.
there is not so much of an impact, you don't have to give two penalties against the player because he was silly. So
Yeah.
yeah, for me the
Yeah.
PC would have been too much
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I absolutely agree with that approach. And I think it's more reflective of how we want to balance out yeah, the impact of the penalties that we can provide. And especially in indoor, Baz touched on this last week as well, that penalty corners are massive decisions in indoor at this level because they are such good scoring opportunities. And it's the final. It's everything's on the line. You want to send the messages and you want to make a great game, but you don't want to be handing out great scoring opportunities that weren't really earned, right? Yeah, I
exactly. It's
totally
not.
see that.
Yeah,
Ah,
and
yes.
if you
Let's see what Kathy has to say. It was a tricky one. At the time that, yeah, the PC seemed too harsh, but the briefing, according to the briefing, it should have been a PC. Yeah, you got away with it, girl. No, I am pro subjectivity on this one. And I know that there's a lot of conversations happening at the top levels about how we should be doing this. And there's what I would call sort of like the strict interpretation people who think that, well, if it says in the rule book that an intentional foul is an upgrade penalty, then you have to give it. And clearly, if you're giving a card, that was an intentional foul. I don't think that's true. I don't think that the rule book actually supports that. But I also just don't think that that wording is good for the game. or that interpretation is good for the game. So yeah, I think this is going to be a dialogue that we keep having over the next few years until we, sort of
But
sort this
it's
out. And I think it's
especially,
important that when umpires like you speak and say like, this is how we feel, and this is what it feels like in the game, and we want to do right by the game. So I think it's important that, we talk about it.
yeah, but I think we will always, like in tournament, like big tournament like that, uh, you have to speak about it before the tournament with the umpire manager. For me, you need to do the same during the whole tournament because you don't want players to be surprised. But you need to decide before the first game that a green card is not a PC for reasons. But if you're doing the whole tournament the same thing, and then on the last game you do something different, that's not good for me. But yeah, I think it's really, you can explain to people why they don't have to understand. But if you're doing the same the whole tournament, like looking for the intention, the place of the card and things like that, you can explain. And yeah, maybe it was not strictly by the book on that one, but I think this
Hmm.
is what make us like player believe in us, trust us more, because we understand what they are doing. And on that one, she was just
Yeah.
silly,
Yeah,
and there is no
absolutely.
need for more.
Yeah. And Anik's question here, if I can, I need to bring it so I can see it. So Anik is asking if say in that situation, if Kathy had decided that she needed to apply a more strict interpretation and give that penalty corner, when do you have to get into that balance of, okay, do I also give the card as well? And like you were saying, the two penalties together was just too much for what happened. So you still get into that, you still have subjectivity on that, don't you? And a card still does impact the team. It's not just a personal message because it is a suspension every time, right? So how,
Yeah,
how
of
would how would
course.
you feel about that?
Uh, to answer the question, just a PC would have been, like you say, PC in indoor is like a huge something. You give us a huge opportunity to score, and on that one, uh, it was more like the way it was more feeling like a card was enough, and a PC would have been like way too hard, because the girl is not. Yeah, it's the way people were placed on the pitch and how it happens. For me, it was no room for a PC, but it's my own interpretation. And
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes you just go by what's inside you, and on that one, the card was feeling just the perfect action.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I agree for sure. Okay, I'm gonna skip a couple. I'm gonna move to this one. I mean, because we have Kathy on, we get to talk about all these as if because she can
She had
chime
a
in
lot
and
to
she can.
do.
Yeah, she did have a lot to do in the beginning, didn't she? So this was just at the beginning of the second quarter, and Kathy made I think a fantastic call here. What did you see from your end on this no goal?
Yeah, I was really happy that she blew the no goal, because she was really going from far away. Uh, but I'm not sure I had the good positioning, because I
Hmm.
have all the player on that angle, and she has the view like of the swipe. So I
Yeah.
think she was in the best position to see. I was really too in line. So yeah, but watching that video again, I was like, oh, that's such a great goal. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the thing that really that sort of maybe this is what caught Kathy's eye as well was the player just at the last second she kind of cocked her wrists back. So she just sort of she was there and then she went whoop like this. And that gave her that extra leverage. And it just happens right here where she just sort of like shoop, and that is where the real sweeping motion, which is a hit under the rules, comes in and gets all that extra oomph. And maybe without that extra oomph, that ball wouldn't have gone in the net. So that's where the disadvantage comes in, right? So
Exactly.
yeah, I loved that call. Let's see what oh, she's still, let's see. I'm going to go to here, and then I'm going to show Tara's comment because Tara's still talking about the last call, which is fantastic. I think if the defender was the last one and stopped the attack, then you look at a card, but as Celine said, it's 3-4 defenders to stop it. Oh, you look at a PC and card. Yeah, I can't see all of that. I like that. Let's see. Haha, I've just sworn at that clip. It doesn't get any easier than that. Come on, Baz. And, we're making sure that everybody's on the same page here. It's very, very important. Yep, absolutely, definitely a hit. Kathy's loving it. And as Angus says, great decision, and at least 2 of the Dutch know it. Not the girl who scored the goal, because she's like, what? She's coming running towards you going, what?
She was not really complaining. If it was really like a bad call for her, the complaint was going to be different. So yeah, she was trying. And she could try. It's good that they try, otherwise it's too easy. But
yeah,
she knew that she was not going to go anywhere with that, asking like, what?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Okay. If I go to the next one, there's lots of really interesting close backline play here because these 2 teams are really, really skilled and really structurally sound. So there's a lot of play that ends up going on the backline, and I loved this. I loved how you moved into the center of the court here, and even like you're in line with the other post, which is just amazing. And watching this, and look at Kathy coming up to support. So what were you seeing in this moment, and what were you looking for in order to let the play continue so you didn't have to step in?
I was the main issue was the trapping, of course. Like, was the ball still possible to play the ball? And we were really trying to encourage that. So if the ball was not stuck in between 2 sticks, we would let them play, and we really try to encourage them play and not try to just get the bully, because bully is ugly in indoor. Like playing too much bully is getting. So I was just making sure that nothing's wrong is coming, and especially because, like you said, it's a very important game. It's only 1-0, so you don't want to miss anything, especially in that part of the pitch in the D. Yeah. So I was making sure that I didn't miss a foot or something, like a drilling, something like that. And Cathy was coming to help because, it's a big, a spot on the pitch that you don't want to miss anything, and the player will try to, do something bad in that corner. So
it's like half the players on the pitch were within 3 meters of the ball at that moment. That is a lot of bodies, around and in the way. And actually now it's 6, so more than half the players. And a
lot of hands, so you don't want to miss anything in that part of the pitch. So
and what I like is that you're looking for reasons that you don't blow your whistle. So it's not like, oh, okay, can I jump in and call a bully here? Because I mean, everybody that watches these shows regular with me, they know that I absolutely hate bullies. I think they're terrible. I think they just kind of set up another it's just a head-to-head, players pushing at the ball again. So I don't think it solves anything. It just moves it to a different spot and maybe pushes the other players away a little bit. That's all it does. So I like that you were there. Do you use your voice at all in these situations to try to get them to
I speak a lot, especially in indoor with the trapping. I'm like, it's open, keep playing, because I don't want them to like just wait for me to blow. So I'm like, I'm not blowing, keep playing. There is room, you can play. There is space. So I try to encourage them to keep playing, to show them that I've seen the situation, that I'm really close to them, to see the situation clearly, and I'm not going to blow for nothing. It's just,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to skip ahead to this clip because it ties exactly into what you were saying. This is actually, I think this is in Q4, and you're right there, and you can see all your gestures and things like that. So what are you saying to the players at this moment?
Exactly, like there is room. leave it space because the number 17, she was closing it. So I say,
Yes.
yeah, just go away. And if she's not, if she doesn't move, that's where she goes in trouble. But
Yep.
if she moves quickly. For me, it's fine. So yeah, if she
And
loosened
the Dutch
and
player was
behave,
helping as well, so that was nice of
yes,
her.
exactly.
Love it. No,
But I think
that
they want to play. So as you see, the Dutch players keep playing, and then they had a chance on the other side of the pitch. So for me, like when they stop and wait for the fault, I will give the fault at the end. But yeah, it's not. And this is a PC. It's a big call, and you don't want to give a PC for like stupid things like that. So
exactly. Yeah, it doesn't take away a penalty corner quality opportunity from the team. So yeah, it's chintzy, it's unbalanced, it's not the way that we want the game to be decided. So yeah, I love it. Okay, I'm gonna go back to earlier in the game now, and here's another example of how close you and Kathy were working in this game. Oh, that's the same one. That's because I can't read.
it's the same
Hopefully this
again.
is the right one. Is it the same one again? Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, it's the
It's just
same
not
again.
playing. It's just not playing the ones that I want. I must have messed up on something. Well, we're gonna have to skip
That's
that.
another one.
That's another one. Good. Okay. Well, we're just gonna talk about this. And again, this is one of these examples where at this level, so you play on here, much to the Dutch player's chagrin, and so as this is all happening at the top of the circle, what are you seeing?
So for me, so she was not free at first, but she stepped back. So the Belarusian player stepped back, and then yeah, she's trapped into the sticks, but the ball is still in her stick, and the ball is going away, and she pushed the ball away. So for me, she's making herself some difficulties by going in the where it's crowded. So
Yeah.
this is I let them play because they step back and then they play, and then she got trapped into sticks and pushed the ball away. So for me, nothing wrong with that. She was just
Yeah, that's
going
pretty
into the
crazy
player.
because there's three defenders in front of her, and I'm gonna go straight through this instead of like
And trying to
looking
go
for an
through the
outman
ground.
situation. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So do you think it's fair to say that you need closer control in indoor before that kind of body obstruction or third party obstruction would be called? You want to see, the ball closer to the stick. Is that fair?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you need to have the control, otherwise you just push the ball and push the girl, and the ball is on the other side of the pitch. For me, there is no, it's no hockey to do that. So
Yeah.
at that, especially at that level, I'm sure she could do something like keep the ball and move the ball away. So yeah, I was happy with that.
Yeah. Look on that 2-on-1. Oh, let's see. Let's see if I pull up this comment. I can't read it though. I seem to remember an old discussion on an outdoor game with a sweeping motion for the scoring. So we're back to the non-goal. Yeah, I mean, Ian, this is one of those that there are, it comes up over and over again. And one of the big reasons that, I get people like Celine and Baz and all the other umpires that have been on Umpire at Home to come on is because I want them to show and explain to everybody that this is the consensus and we're trying to get it out there so that more umpires learn that this is why we don't want to call those goals as good goals, and trying to get everybody on the same page. So it's definitely good to point those out. Let's see. So back on that last clip, Inga, it was a great decision. Clearly wanting to make sure you thought the Belarusian girl was a third party or blocking her. Yep. And ooh, free outside for obstruction by the woman with her back. Yeah, jinx. Well, that's why Celine was on the final.
But
She got that.
not every goal. I can't for sure. I made some mistakes during that game. So there is always room for interpretation. But to be honest, especially in indoor, you don't have time to think that twice.
Yeah.
So for me, at that moment, she could have go anywhere else, and she's just pushed into that girl. The girl was just trying to take the ball, and her body was on the line, but yeah, she was just trying to catch the ball. So
Yeah.
at that moment, my feeling was just go, let's play on. But yeah, maybe.
Wait, I got a special effect for Tara there. Hang on. Hang on.
What's going on
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, it's so funny. So yeah, and again, for us, what I don't really, it's not about like, oh, this is the right decision and that's the wrong decision. It's about talking about what things went into your decision-making process so that when we go out on the pitch next week, next month, next year, depending on how things go, that we know what we're looking for and we know what the principles are so that it doesn't matter if we're doing the Euro final or we're doing a Division 5 masters, whatever it is, juniors, that it's the same principles that we just apply to a different fact situation. So there you go. Oh, here's a little Baz has got your back. We sold him, so I like that. So Anik just has a question here, a silly question, which there are none of. Is a video ref an idea for indoor? And we talked about this with Baz last week, but I'm interested in what you have to say about what you think about that maybe being an indoor.
Oh, it could be. Yeah, I don't know. I've never think about video in indoor. Video for me is always good. Like it's really helping, and you can really have slow mo to get the good call. But yeah, there is. I think it would be good. It would be amazing to have video in indoor. I don't know how you can apply that because there is only half and half of the pitch, not like in the 23 or things like that. So I think they need to think about it. It could be amazing to have like for the major decision to be able to have a confirmation with the
Yeah,
video, of course.
yeah,
But yeah, the problem is to find the balance, like to apply the video, like don't go into this is room for interpretation. The last clip we just watched. So if you go too often on that, I'm not sure like it's going to help or not. But for major call, like just to have a confirmation, was it the body? Was it sometimes it's so quick, like was it the body on the line or was it the arm? Was it the stick? So yeah, for those kind of situation, goal no goal, video could be amazing. But yeah, I think it must be hard to apply in indoor or to find a good way to apply it to make it work.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think we all have that desire to get the call right. We want to see the right call happen, for everybody on the pitch all the time. I think one of the concerns that Baz and I talked about last week was just how that would really in indoor, because it is so fast, it is such a short game that it might really break it up and break up the flow a bit too much. So, and there's so many decisions and so many little things going on that, yeah, it would be really, really tricky. It'd be interesting to see it tried, but I'd want to see the experiment first to see if it actually works or not. And I'm sure you would feel the same way.
Because imagine the video just before with the trapping and me trying to say to the girl just go that way and don't close it. If you go to video, I'm sure there is like one moment when it's closed, when the stick is on the board and it's closed. So you can go for PC on that one, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But is it really worth it to go to PC for that kind of call? So if the Dutch team goes to video on that one, they can say, at one little moment it was trapped, I want the PC. So how do you deal with that? But
Yeah,
there is
absolutely.
sometimes you really wish you have the video
Yeah,
for sure
yeah,
because
absolutely.
it's quick and you want on the line to have the good decision. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
absolutely. Yeah, and Inga's just following that up too. That yeah, it can be. She thinks it could, really break up the game. Before we go to the next clip, though, let me just pop this because our friend Mr. Elworthy saying hello. There you go. Okay,
I miss all
let's
those
see.
people.
What's that?
I miss all the people.
Oh God, I know. Don't we ever? Okay, let's go to this one because this suddenly it's the second half and you have so many big decisions to make, and this is, yeah, this is actually the beginning of the fourth quarter.
We
And
just saw that
oh, it's
one.
the wrong one again. Come on. Come on now.
I was like, oh, what's new?
No. Yeah, it's this one though. I tested all this last night, I promise. But this was the first time that you popped in here, and here you go. I think we may have missed an earlier green card from you, but here you're giving a yellow card here on this breakdown. Take us through your thought process here and what you're seeing, because yeah, this should be Q4. And
Yeah.
yeah, 4
So
minutes up.
there is different things in that clip.
Yes.
First, I think the Belarusian team played me and they won on that one. So, but I will explain later why. So for me, the stick tackle was just at the limit between the inside or outside the halfway line. So this is why I'm not going to PC, because at that time I was thinking it was just on the line, not sure it was inside. Yeah, I was pretty sure it was just before the line. So for me,
Mm-hmm.
it's room for a yellow card because the intention was just to, yeah, break the girl and not, yeah. But so this is why. So I tried to play on to see where the Dutch girl was going, if she could get anything. And then as the ball was, there is another fault. I go back to the
Mm-hmm.
card, and
Right.
that's when the Belarusian girl tricked me. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then
So
watching this, I think maybe it was inside, but at that moment, I was thinking it was just before the line. But yeah, there,
okay,
yeah,
so
okay,
so it's that one, it's that foul there that you were unhappy
yeah,
about. Is that right? Okay.
yeah,
So,
exactly. So that
yeah.
if you look, there is two blonde girl, or two or three or four of them. So I try to have an eye on that girl. So I stop the time and I say, "Ah, that's the one I want to card." And then she
Right.
looked at me like, "It's not me."
Yes. So it wasn't 18. It was the one that actually points at 18 and says, "Yeah, yeah, it was her, right?" So sorry, as
Exactly.
I'm just starting to scroll through, which is really funny. Um, and the Dutch players came to you afterwards and they seemed a little bit unhappy. So did they? So it was number five that you actually wanted.
Yeah, it's not.
Um,
So it's number five, and I was really going to number five. Then she looked at me and she was like, "No, it's not me. It's her. It's her." And
uh,
honestly, it went through my mind, and I was like, maybe I've missed something. What is going on?
yeah.
And so yeah, they played me and they had me. So yeah, I was like, ah. And I told to it was Karen Evans, one of the UM, and I said, Karen, I think I made a mistake. She was like, don't think about it. I said, I called the
Absolutely.
wrong girl. She was like, ah, it's too late. No, it's too late. And yeah, she's telling me it's the other one. It's the other one. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Was there a big difference between the two players? Was five like a key? Like was she the penalty corner shot taker, or was there anything? Because I mean they had the
I have
same
no idea.
hair. It would have been hard to.
Yeah, it was. So I was really focused on keeping the eye on the girl and call the right girl. But as they were like, "Oh, it's not me, it's not me," I was like, "Ah, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I mistake that." And so
Yeah,
yeah, they had me. I was
yeah,
yeah,
that
but
is
I
yeah.
don't know. Honestly, was she better than the other one, or maybe she was really thinking it was for the fault just after, or she was thinking it was a fault after, and she was honestly thinking about not her. I don't know. But she looked so sure, like, oh no, not me. The other one, I was like, oh, maybe I did something wrong. So yeah, they played me, and I don't know if the intention was there, but yeah, when I watched the video again, I was like, ah, I was right.
Yeah, no, I got it. So a couple people just sort of picking up that what happened was Belarus had taken their goalkeeper off earlier. They pulled her off for the kicking back because they were down the goal. And so at the time of giving the card, the 17 ran off, their goalkeeper ran back on again, and then the question was, did they still have 6 on the pitch? And Celine, I don't know what your approach is to this, but for me, yes, I try to keep an eye on it, but at this level, I have a lot of trust in the technical bench that they've got this handled. Did you, because they had the right number of players as the game went on. I can just verify it, everybody. Just trust me. They had the right number of players. Did you watch that happening and have that in your mind?
I was looking, I wanted to be sure that someone was seated. So
Yes.
I had a look after that somebody, a player was sitting on that chair. So that for sure. But what was going on with the on and off goalkeeper, I had no idea. So I was focused on, I want a Belarusian girl sitting on the chair, at least that, but that's it. So when they change, if there is more player, honestly, I can't tell. I can't count every time, especially they all look the same to me. So
there's that too.
And with the pressure, so my mind was somebody was sitting on that chair, and that's all I wanted.
Yeah, so, absolutely. And again, that would be something that I think, you're under pressure to get the game going again right away. At that level, you're not holding people's hands and that sort of thing. So if you started the game again and then you noticed that they had 6 on, then you apply the remedy, which is a penalty corner, right? Yeah.
So look out the captain. Let's go with that. But no, it's if you can see it, just take it. But as much as you can, leave it to the table. Like the TO in charge was really good. We were really close to the bench, and she was really good, pushing people away and making sure that everything was clear. So, and we discussed that before the game. We have worked together before. So I was confident that she will help me with that. And I think when we speak about the team of umpires, we also have the judges and the TO, and I think it's the whole team working together, especially for the final when people are really excited and they want to win, especially when it's in your own country. So I think we did a good job with the TO on that, because I didn't notice that players were really close to me. We had no problem with the goalie substitution or things like that. So it was really a team cooperation, and I think we did really well. So I had full trust in my TO. And if you can have full trust in your TO, it's something really good that you're not taking your mind in that, and it's something really helping the umpires. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's see if I go to the right scene now. I'm going to skip ahead again a little bit, and I'm going to get right to the end and the big excitement. Again, Cathy is such a goal hog in this game, the jerk. And so we are with seconds left in the match, and Belarus is still down. And the crowd goes wild. This is just amazing. And the reason I wanted to pick this one out was for a couple things. And the first one was about the deflection that went across towards the player who then deflected into the goal. But also just sort of your vision on everything as it's happening, and how are you supporting in this moment? Because it's a big moment, right?
Exactly. So I think I try to control what not control, but have an eye on what I can. So my board is my problem. So I was really watching along the board. Cathy was at the good spot in the D, so we have eyes everywhere, and I think we couldn't have done differently on that one. Like I don't remember exactly, to be honest.
Yeah, there's so many things going on again, and
but I think like before the game you speak, and during the game you get used to each other, you know what to watch. So I'm sure we divide the pitch or divide to be sure that we had eyes everywhere, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. And an amazing goal. And on that deflection, you do see the Belarusian player on the carpet or on the hard court after the deflection's made, and she's in the process of like going down as she's deflecting the ball. You can see her right there. I've paused it right where she's about to deflect it, but she does not have 3 points on the ground at the time that she actually deflects the ball. So but again, big decision in a tough moment to pick up and that sort of thing. So we go to a shootout, and last week I played like the whole shootout because it was with us, because there was lots of good examples and that sort of thing. And what's interesting about the shootout, I'm gonna pull out the one thing, because you mentioned this to me, and I thought you were a little, oh, that doesn't seem to be like the right.
It's the penalty stroke, but they were
Yeah,
celebrating.
yeah.
So what
But it's
I've
not
learned
the
from that
actual.
one, don't let them play, don't give an advantage on penalty stroke. Even if
Okay,
when you look, it was obvious she was going to score, but don't believe in obvious in that moment. Just go for the easy and blow the stroke immediately. That's what I have learned. And Vilma told me after the game. So Vilma is the middle of the players. She says, Céline,
right.
make it easy for yourself. Just go for penalty stroke. I was like, I know Vilma, but I was so sure she was going to score that I put myself in so much trouble.
And I've talked about this before because I actually I ran the first FIH shootout in history in 2011. So they'd been doing it in the EHL for years, and then I was in Austria, and it was the bronze medal game, and it was Chile versus somebody, and I was conducting the shootout, and I got myself in exactly the same sort of thing, and there I was playing, I had my hand up and everything, and I was playing advantage off a stroke, and the goalkeeper just, kind of crushed her, but somehow she'd kept the ball, and I'm doing this, and I'm like, yeah, she's going to put the ball in the net, and she did. And then a second later the horn went, and I just went, oh my God, because the realization that if she hadn't put the ball in the net, there's no provision in the shootout regulations that allow us to go back to a foul that we would have called that happened before the horn went. That's in the rules, but it doesn't, like, there would be a lot of ambiguity as to whether that applies to a shootout as well. So, oh my God, I just remember, and I just went, and then I had to buy wine for everybody that night. So I paid
Yeah.
big. Sorry, I'm trying to
Uh,
find the video of the shootout call. So um, I'm gonna sync it onto my local computer. I'm gonna do all these things, and you can tell us about the shootout, because you controlled the shootout in the end that Kathy had been controlling during the game. So talk us through that, because a lot of umpires listening at home wouldn't understand why you guys went through that process.
So to be honest, as I was watching the game again, so being on the pitch is totally different than watching. Because on the pitch, I had the feeling that we have done the same, I'm going to say job, but as I was watching the game again, I think Katy had much more pressure than me. Look, look, oh, I was so sure she will put the ball in the goal.
I mean, you're not
Wow.
wrong. You're not wrong.
Look, the flowers are coming, everything.
Yeah, the kids are coming with the flowers and all that kind of stuff. Oh, and it's just, and I love that you're being really humble and open about this, because we've all done through this, and we've all had these sort of moments of, oh crap, I'm never going to do that again. So
Exactly.
it's, yeah, exactly. But I think that it's just a nice example of how little details can have such an impact on the way that the game gets presented, especially at these big pressure levels, and how much pressure is on you guys to get them all right, because the consequences are just so big. Because now you've got people in the court, you've got fans and spectators, and with the
I think
language barrier.
at that time you don't feel like it's the same. Like I was thinking, I told Kathy said, "Do you want to take it?" And I say, "Ah, yeah, if it's good for you, I will be happy to do it because
Mm-hmm.
I just I don't know how to explain. It's just something you want to try. So if
Yeah.
you had a really bad game and you're not sure of yourself, you're like, ah no, just give it to somebody else. But in that game, I think everything went quite well. Maybe the yellow card, but still at the end, somebody was sitting on that chair. So
Mm-hmm.
everything is going well in the game. Your focus is at the right place. You're confident. So it's that day you say, if she agrees with me, I want to have a try because you need to try to see what's going on and to feel that pressure and to be able to do it again. So I was like, yeah, I want to I want to have a try. And Kathy was so nice to give it to me. So I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, Vilma teach me the lesson after. She says, Céline, take it easy on yourself. Just blow the stroke immediately. And so, yeah, at the end,
Yeah.
it all went good. And I think they knew I blow the stroke. They saw it. They just want to celebrate or they want to, because the coach is not celebrating with them. The coach is not there. The coach is at the middle. So he knew,
Yes.
but
Yes. Yes, the savvy players or coaches who have been there before and have seen, all the possibilities and that sort of thing, or the ways that things can go wrong, like they know that, you know, they've got a better sense of the game. And Erwin Kreis is, he's been there, he knows. But the Belarusians, this was a big moment because they're in a final that they haven't ever won. Is that right? I don't think they had ever won it
I don't
up
think
until that
so. And
point.
they were at home. So this is why I blow my whistle, I show the stroke. I can see the girl face from the Dutch team, and I'm like, okay, take it easy because I know it's going to be a mess. I've seen that. So I'm like, take it easy. I'm going to manage that, but just take it easy. And I
Yeah,
think
absolutely.
we really stay calm and explain things to the girl. So one girl from the Belarus team come to me and say, no, blow the stroke before. And I think that's the like the relationship we have built during the whole tournament. That's know that you need to apply it. So if you can
Yes.
stay calm, explain, and if they trust you the whole tournament, that's where they will like, oh, okay, I know she's doing the best she can do. Maybe she was too slow, but I agree with that decision. And yeah,
Yeah.
nobody except that I've learned something on that one. Nobody say anything wrong about it. Just blow it quicker.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I knew, I knew right away.
Well,
I was just so sure that she was going to put the ball in the goal. So never assume that.
yeah, absolutely. But I really like that point that you made about how the rapport and all the work and the little things that you've done throughout the tournament with all of the players and with the coaches and managers and the technical people, they all pay off in those moments. And when things are, going a little awry, and that's when you pay the dividends. And I think that's really important to talk about because it's not just because in that moment people were like, oh, it's cool. No, it was because they trusted you enough that you were trying to do the right thing and trying to get it right. So hopefully I as Baz said, I was a lot better at the clips last week. Honest, I was like, I ran through this last night like 3 times. It should all been working, but I just want to show the final goal because again, like Kathy was saying, it was tough. Oh yeah, so this one's gonna work. Easy
And
peasy.
I'm
And
in
there
the
you are.
middle.
I just love that because that's what all of us do that. All of us just kind of get really small and make sure that nobody, like, we don't get an arm taken off
No,
and get out of the way.
no, and
So,
yeah, I want to let them celebrate. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
yeah, that was me. That was me. But well, they're gonna find this again in the same spot, hopefully. But Céline, I mean, we went through so much, and it's been an hour and 45 minutes easy, which is amazing. I really appreciate all the time that you put in and everything that you shared. There was so much there for all of us, and it was really nice to be able to spend the time with you personally. So thank you so much
So
for
nice.
everything on that.
Thanks to
And
you.
yeah, well, and I'm sure we're going to do this again in the future. I got to start, coming back to people and be like, yeah, you got to come back on again. So we'll do all that.
Good.
But oh, there we go. Yep. See, Andy's already laughing at me. Oh, Keely. Yes. I don't know what happened. I pushed the wrong button. It's there you go. You're very welcome, Simon, as always. It's great to see you on board on the episodes. So yes, it was fantastic. And everybody, make sure you go follow Celine. I've tagged her in lots of the posts, so go follow her. She's very inspirational, especially on the fitness side, showing us all what we should be doing and looking after ourselves. Oh, Rachel, if it were only one glitch today, many, many more. Yep. Nope. They're all there. Yep. Wash your hands, look after yourselves. And Celine, let's keep in touch. And everybody go follow her, go say hi to her and support her because we're all in this together. So thank you so much, Celine. Till soon.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Thank you.
Ciao. Au revoir.
Au revoir.